UFT.
Karen, you're on in 3, 2, 1.
And good morning. Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs. We're live each Sunday on 850 WFTL and also on our YouTube channel, Condo Craze and HOAs. You can see Eric and myself there live on the YouTube channel and ask any questions in the chat box. I am Karen Curtis, and of course, I'm here again with attorney Eric Glazer from Glazer and Sachs, PA. That's where we're broadcasting from right now. Eric is board certified by the Florida Bar in Condominium and Plan Development Law. He has a firm with attorneys in Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, and we're here each week to answer all your calls and emails about the issues that make life in your condominium or HOA absolutely crazy from 1 minute to the next. And we, of course, would love to get the phone lines going early. We can answer all of your calls and also emails, right, about anything condo, HOA, or in the chat box, 877-850-8585, 877-850-8585. Eric.
Hey, by the way, you can also now follow us on TikTok, Apple, Spotify, and Facebook.
We're a podcast as well.
Yeah, we went
Nice.
nuts when it comes to social media. And of course, like Karen says, if you're a fan of the show, don't forget to do two things. Subscribe to the Condo Craze and HOAs channel on YouTube, because by doing so, not only can you watch us live, you can watch any prior recording of any prior show. Please don't forget to hit subscribe and like. And, of course, subscribe to our email list at condocrazeandhoas.com, because by joining each week, you can get announcements about the show, about all the seminars that we do, our blog, changes to the law, and a whole lot more. And, matter of fact, we're going to have to talk about our upcoming seminar next week that you can take from the privacy of your home, and we'll talk about that in a little while. And lots to talk about on this show this week.
Yeah,
we do a blog. I'm sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
I forgot about our blog.
Yeah,
we do a blog every Monday morning at hoa-condoblog.com. Tomorrow's topic, make sure your docs don't cost you money, part 2. Today we're going to talk about part 1. Don't let third parties off the hook next week. That's what we'll talk about in our blog. Today it's about don't let the banks off the hook.
Okay. Well, today is a really big day. It's huge because it's Eric's birthday.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Condo President. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Karen. Better than Marilyn.
There you go.
Better than Marilyn could ever do it. Thank you so much, Karen. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for my new shirt.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. It's all embroidered. See,
Glazer
we're
and
getting our
Sachs.
act
See,
together.
We match. Absolutely.
You have to go see us on there on the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. That's the way
The birthday
to enjoy
boy.
the show. Night. Thank you very much again. And,
You're welcome, Mr. President.
Honored to spend it with you and the listeners of the show today. And, of course, I have my two kids with me, Jamie and Brandon, in the studio.
Yes.
So what could be better?
I love
the
it.
Listeners, you, Jamie, Brandon, it's all good. And it's definitely true what they say, though. As you get older, the years go by quicker, no?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't the
my
show have a
God.
birthday coming up as well?
Yeah, we do. We have a birthday coming
Oh,
up.
don't even tell me how
Yeah.
many years we've been doing
We're
this.
going to be doing this, let's see, I think 14
Wow.
years on September 13th, 2009.
And we're
believe it or
finally
not.
getting it together.
Right. But could you remember the day after your birthday as a child?
Yes.
It was the most depressing day of your life.
Right.
You thought, you're never going to have a birthday again. It's
Now
never
that-
going to come around again. And now the freaking birthdays don't stop coming around, right? It's just, yeah, I wish they would stop. No, but I guess if it stops,
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's
yeah,
bad.
Exactly.
He's definitely a Taurus, though, isn't he? He's definitely a Taurus.
Leo.
Oh, you're a Leo. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Leo, you're a Taurus. No,
Jamie.
pardon me. My ex-husband's a Leo, too. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Leo. Of course.
Of course.
Even
right?
more so. So incredibly.
Yeah, all right. We really need to wake up a lot of condo and homeowner associations out there to the fact that they may be about to lose a lot of money if they don't get their governing documents in order. I'm serious about this. This is pretty important. And let's start with what some of you already know. Foreclosures are on the rise. And I think I said this last week. One of my secretaries has been with me forever, Sylvia, comes over to me and says, I'm just letting you know, we have more foreclosures in the office now, right now, than I've ever had since I'm working here. And she's with me like 10 years.
And what are you attributing it to?
Things are bad. How about that? Things are bad. Despite what Mr. Biden tells you. Things are not that good.
It's kind of like a perfect storm in Florida with everyone moving in, so demand is high.
Yeah.
So rent and condos and everything
Insurance has
insurance
gone
is a
crazy.
problem.
Yeah, and by the way, in a lot of these situations, it hasn't even started yet.
No, and the
You know,
special
it hasn't
assessments are
even
going to go up
started.
because of these things. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
incredibly, this is happening before the huge special assessments are kicking in for many and before the mandatory reserves go into effect. So it begs the question, if foreclosures are already on the rise, what's going to happen when those special assessments and reserves take hold in most of the communities, adding to the high demand
Right.
and the insurance being high? It's going to be the perfect storm.
It is. It's coming. And let's educate everybody as to what happens, okay? Everybody put your thinking cap on for this one, because you really need to know this, Not only if you're on the board, but you need to know this if you're not on the board and you're just a member of the community. You need to know
Yes.
what happens when a bank forecloses on a unit, because I'm telling you, this is coming.
And it becomes your problem to pay their assessments.
Definitely becomes your
Yeah.
problem to pay their assessments. Absolutely. And the bottom line is that the association is likely to take a huge financial hit if that home or unit is also delinquent to the association in assessments, not just to their bank, but if they owe the association money, yeah, it's going to be a problem for the association.
And so, is it true that when a bank forecloses on a property, most of the time the bank then winds up becoming the owner of the property?
Yeah, right.
And so then the bank is going to be majority owner of
Yeah,
all
the
these.
bank is going to be an owner, and it can be a situation where the bank owns a lot of units in the community. But
And
there's
then
some
what, a
strategy
developer
to
can
that.
come
There's-
in, or?
There's some strategy to that. I'll tell you, well, I wasn't going to talk about it today, but there is some strategy to that. Sometimes when there's a lot of foreclosures going on, right, and eventually the banks are going to own a lot of units in the community, when they do in fact own all the units in the community, now pass the special assessment. Because guess what?
The bank
They're on
pays.
the hook for it.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, that's
so
huge.
There's got to
That's
think about that. So
huge.
the attorney representing you got to know what they're doing, got to plan this out
Oh
accordingly.
my gosh.
So, that's the case in the overwhelming majority of cases. The bank winds up owning the property. And here's how it works. So think, if an owner fails to pay that mortgage, the bank eventually forecloses. They get a final judgment against the owner for the amount of the delinquency of the mortgage, right, plus interest, plus attorney's fees. And the judge sets an auction date. At the auction, the bank usually bids the amount of their final judgment. Let's say it's $235,611. That's what they bid for the property. And typically the property isn't worth that much. So they wind up becoming the owner of the property. There are no other bids. And again, the bank winds up owning the property
So the bank is paying paying the assessments,
from now on.
not the past ones.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I'm confused. So
It's
why wouldn't
very confusing
the bank have to pay the past assessments?
because the law protects them.
Oh.
Yes.
And so it would anyone who buys it would
That-
not have to pay the past.
Nope. Banks
Just
get
the bank.
special privileges.
I'm so
Right.
confused.
Okay, the banks don't have to pay
That's what I
all the back
thought.
assessments that are owed, or on the condo unit or the HOA. Not even close. The banks are lucky. And here's what the law says. The law states that the banks would only have to pay the lesser of 1 year of assessments or 1% of the original mortgage. 1 year of assessments or 1% of the mortgage. So let's do some math here. Let's say the bank is foreclosing on a $300,000 mortgage. 1% of that mortgage is $3,000. Let's say the assessments are $600 a month, though. The 1 year of assessments is $7,200. Again, the bank only has to pay the lesser of 1 year of assessments or 1% of the mortgage. In this case, 1% of the mortgage is $3,000, and that's going to be the case all the time, by the way. It's always going to be 1% of the mortgage in majority of situations. So again, there can be $15,000 in delinquent assessments owed on the unit. The bank in this case would only have to pay, again, 1% of their mortgage, $3,000 at most.
So why did the banks get off the hook not paying the delinquent assessments?
Because banks probably have more lobbyists
Yeah.
than any other industry in Florida. And the bank's position is that if you make us pay the delinquent assessments, we simply won't make loans to people who want to purchase in a condo or HOA. How about that?
Oh,
Don't put us on the hook for
got
delinquent
it.
assessments.
Oh, wow. So is it ever possible for the bank to get away without paying a penny toward the delinquent assessments?
Yeah, It's an important question. So I just told you they always have to pay the lesser of 1 year or 1%. So you're getting a few $1,000s. But Karen's question is it possible for them to pay zero? And the answer to that is yes, even though the law says that they have to pay, like I said, the lesser of 1 year or 1%. And many of our listeners don't know this, and you better know this now. You better learn this now. Here's where the association could really get stung. If your governing documents let the bank off the hook and state in the documents that the bank doesn't have to pay anything if they wind up foreclosing and owning the property.
The documents can say that?
Right, exactly. So even though the law would require the bank to pay $3,000 in the example we just gave, the association's governing documents may allow the bank to pay zero. So the lesson for today, make sure your governing documents do not contain such a provision. And if they do, amend it immediately before foreclosures in your community possibly become routine. Don't let the banks off the hook. That would be a shame.
How do they change the docs, though?
Very simple. Get a vote of the community. And on this one, everybody would vote in favor.
Of course.
It's not controversial.
Yeah.
This is an easy one.
And so once the bank owns a property, however, do they have to start paying the assessments just like everybody else?
So I want everybody to know
So
that
now's the
too.
time.
Oftentimes someone will come to, association will come to me and say, Eric, this bank foreclosed on the property. They own it for a year. They haven't paid $1 in assessments. I'm like, well, why are you waiting to do something about it? That's the first person you should be going after.
Boom.
The bank. It's like, what was it, Dillinger who said it? Why do I rob from the banks? Because that's where the money is.
That's where the money is.
Well, this one is the reverse. Why should you be foreclosing on the banks? Because that's where the money is. If the banks owe the association money, go after them. Don't let them sit.
So you can foreclose on the bank.
You can foreclose on the bank, right?
If they're not paying the assessments.
Correct. As a matter of fact, I think it was the Miami Herald that I foreclosed on a bank maybe 15 years ago. And the Herald was like kind of amused with it. So the Miami Herald did a whole article about, wow, what's it like to foreclose on a bank? But we do it all the time. If they don't pay, you lien them, you foreclose on them just like everybody else. Now, next week, we're going to talk about what happens if there's some equity in the property when it goes to a foreclosure sale, and a third party, not the bank, a third party purchases that property at the foreclosure sale. Now we got a different ballgame.
Well, that's what happened to me. I ended up paying, I didn't get any of the equity. It went to the bank.
Okay.
Right?
What when we say when what?
On my mom's condo.
Oh, I got it.
There was like money left over.
And it went to the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it went to the
there was
association.
some money left. Okay.
It went to the association.
Maybe because association was owed. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Association was owed money as well. So that can happen too, even if there is equity.
Right.
Bank forecloses. Right. There is equity. Let's say there's a few
The bank
$1,000
didn't have to pay
left
those
over.
fees.
The association can ask the judge to grab some of
That's
that
what
equity
happened.
so that they get paid off the delinquent fees.
Because
but that
the bank
doesn't happen
doesn't
all
pay
the
it.
time. But next week is different. Next week is when a third party comes around and a third party says, okay, we think the property is worth a certain amount. We'll bid. And they bid. But suppose there's $15,000 in back assessments.
Yeah.
Does that third party now owe the assessments to the community, the back assessments? You'll have to tune in next week to find out the answer. All right? But I'm telling you, get in front of this. The bottom line, get in front of this if you're on the board of directors. Make sure your docs say the right thing. If you don't, you are going to be real upset. You're going to lose potentially tens of thousands of dollars. Okay? All right. So what do our listeners think? Should we let the banks off the hook? I'm sure they're going to say no. What do you guys think about banks? 877-850-8585, 877-850-8585, or, of course, any other question in the
There are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies, and I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back-of-the-house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
an unexpected leak. Jay, you know that's no way to solve a roof problem. Call Best Roofing. We solve roof problems.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project.
Please visit rimkiss.com.
I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that.
Like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6
box. So I want to thank Kathy for saying good morning, Eric, Karen, and everyone. Happy Sunday. 1126 Vidal, your show is very informative, as are your blogs. Thank you, Vidal. Kelly again, good morning. Kathy, let's see who else we got. 1126 Vidal, happy birthday, Eric. Kelly Berry, happy birthday. Ryan Craig, happy birthday, Eric. Kathy, thank you so much. Deborah Guest, happy birthday, Eric. Enjoy your day. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much I really, really do appreciate it when you know the listeners, care. Care
They
enough
do. Of
to
course
type
they
happy
care.
birthday, right?
Because
Thank
you care about them.
Thank you. You're not kidding. All right, so let's take some of the questions from that chat box. Vidal writes, we have a new accounting firm since April and have not seen financials since March. They say the old firm didn't give them all the financials from the past, so they can't do any any financials from April through July now. Now, that's a problem when a prior accounting firm will not give the prior financials so that the new accounting firm can't do the work. That's where the attorney should get involved, okay? And the attorney for the association should be writing a letter to the prior accounting firm saying, in a nice way, because they might have been working with the association for a while, but hey, what's up? Can you let us know what's going on? Make a phone call. Doesn't have to be, litigious.
Right.
But if the association can't do their quarterly reports because of information the prior accounting firm has, absolutely, the attorney should get involved. No big deal. Let's see. Who else we got? What would be considered rules regarding unit use? Changing door colors, adding hurricane shutters, etc. Seems right. But is putting a pot of flowers on a common element considered unit use? No, because that's use of the common elements. Unit use. So a lot of times when that's included in a bylaws, like the board has the authority to make rules and regulations regarding unit use. The main thing I can think of is where your documents are silent on whether or not a unit owner can have pets, right? And the documents also say that the board has the authority to make rules and regulations regarding unit use. So the board can say no pets allowed or make rules regarding pets.
When the documents are
When
silent.
the documents are silent, but also when they have that language in here that they have the right to make rules and regulations regarding unit use.
So I have a question. So the documents can be silent, but like Trump's indictment was a speaking indictment. So documents can speak and be silent? That's what they were saying. This is a speaking indictment. What is that? You're an attorney.
I don't know. Right. Well, he was indicted for free speech. That's exactly it. That's why his attorney is saying that the best thing that's going to happen, he's going to depose former Vice President Pence, and we're going to find out that he really, truly believed that he lost the election.
He still
and
does.
he was exercising his free speech rights, and it's going to be pretty difficult to indict
still
somebody.
believes it.
Well, not to turn it into political.
Sorry.
But I can't, as an attorney, it's going to be if Trump truly believed, and I think he did.
He still does.
Right, he still does, right.
Yes.
That he won the election.
Yep.
I don't know how you're going to be able to convict him on thoughts.
You can't legislate thoughts or
right.
litigate thoughts, but I'm just saying that documents can speak and they can also be silent, and I find that interesting.
Yes, absolutely. About our next caller, are they going to be silent? I hope not. Who do we got?
We have Joanne in Cocoa Beach.
Joanne, how are you, Joe? Hey, don't wait to call in 877-850-8585. Joanne.
Hi, Eric. Good morning and happy birthday
Thank
to you.
you. Thank you so much.
And first, I want to thank you for reading my email about the insurance reform.
Oh, that's
Sundays
right.
ago,
You
and
were the
asking
lady
your
that sent it
listeners
in.
to call the governor, CFO,
Thank
and their
you.
state representatives to release those monies from the CAT fund.
Thank you
Hopefully
so
this will be
much.
taken up in the January legislative session.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much for educating our listeners. I really appreciate it.
Sure. And I have a question. For the past 18 months, I've noticed in our condo financials that some checks are being written to the president for reimbursement instead of the checks being payable to the vendor.
Oh, I hate that.
At first, it was just one or two handymen. Now there are more vendors being paid by the president. These are not small amounts. I'm getting concerned. So I sent an email to the treasurer and asked him why this is happening. And he said that the president said that we get better prices paying cash, and some of the vendors won't do the work if they don't get paid cash.
Let me tell you
The
something.
management company also told the treasurer that it was okay to do this.
No,
What
I
are
don't
your
like
thoughts?
it. I don't like it, especially when it comes to the handymen in the community. I had a case maybe 15, 20 years ago where the handyman was eventually fired, but he came forward and said, I used to cash my paycheck. The president of the condo used to come with me, and I'd have to give him back a portion of my paycheck in order to stay hired. So, no, I don't like when transactions are done in cash. I don't care if you're getting, some sort of a better deal. I don't like it. Absolutely not. I think things should be done by check. It just, it totally takes out the possibility for fraud. I mean, look, there can be fraud in any situation, but fraud is cut down tremendously. And I don't like the fact, and I don't know your president, and please don't think that I'm saying that he steals. I'm not saying that. But when one person specifically says, no, I want to pay everybody in cash, just gives me a bad feeling.
What about money laundering?
Yeah, it just gives me a bad feeling. I don't know what that one person may or may not be up to, and I'm not saying they're stealing. I want to be clear. I am not accusing that president of stealing. But when that president wants to pay everybody in cash, it just, makes the hair on your neck stand up a little bit.
It's a little suspicious.
It's not, a little suspicious, and you don't want that situation occurring. Absolutely not.
You can't find a money trail there.
How do I get it to stop?
How do you get it to stop? You're not on the board?
No.
You're not on the board. How about raising this at a board meeting? Have you?
No, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. I think you need to do it. I think you need to record the board meeting, see how they act, see what the board members say.
Okay.
And is there anything illegal under the law? I don't think so. But who's the accountant for the association?
Yeah, I was going to contact the CPA to see what his ideas are on, best accounting practices.
Yeah. There's no question that the CPA for the community is going to say, nope, I don't want them doing this. I don't like it. It opens up the door for all kinds of problems.
And then if there's shell companies involved, there's got to be something
You don't know.
going
I had
on.
that too. Over the years. So absolutely, it's a bad thing. And if maybe they won't respect your opinion because you're just a unit owner. But if you can get the CPA to come forward and say this is terrible, it needs to stop, then you have some juice. Then you have some ammunition.
Good, yeah. I think you're right. I will do that. Thank you so much, Eric.
You got thank you for again educating the listeners 2 weeks ago. Appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure.
You got it.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, Eric, in your experience, we'll go back to the board. Eric, in your experience, is it best to get a third-party election monitor? Our experience with the DBPR has been awful, and there is still no appointment of an ombudsman. We fully expect the board to sabotage. So you, under the law, just to tell everybody, if you get 15% of the unit owners to sign a petition and you send it up to Tallahassee to the ombudsman's office, they will appoint an election monitor to come to your election.
We've had the ombudsman on the air.
We've had them on the air. Spencer Hennings just resigned, however, a few months ago. We wish him luck.
He was good.
And so what does it mean when an election monitor comes? It means when they get there, they're going to be the ones that open up the envelopes and count the ballots.
But can't their attorney do it?
Not if the 15% is filed. In other words, many times if there's an election monitor, I'm kicked out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I go there and basically, have to watch the election monitor. And sometimes that's important. Okay, sometimes I'll wind up in, arguments, disputes with the election monitor.
Got it.
Because I don't think the election monitor should be counting certain votes. And in all candor, I think, and it's very happy they do it this way, they yield to me many of the times because they don't want to get into legal arguments. So they'll yield much of the time if it's a legal argument, and I thank them for that, and I think they're doing the right thing when they do that. Is it a good thing to have an election monitor? It can't hurt, number one. Number two, however, if the fraud occurred before the night of the election, in other words, if it occurred with fraudulent signatures and things like that, the election monitor is not going to catch that. Okay, that won't happen.
How will they? How do they catch it?
So I will tell you, again, all they do is make sure that they get there and they open up the envelopes and they make sure the counting is done correctly. But in terms of fraud, like who signed the envelopes, basically the law says if there's any signature on the envelope, got to count it. So we don't know if, the board forged signature or anybody forged signatures for that matter. But any signature on the envelope has to be counted. Now, I will tell you a situation that I had maybe a year ago where we had I'm trying to remember, we had many corporations owning units in the condo, massive condominium. Many corporations owned the units. And you have to have voting certificates saying who can vote for that corporation, right? Who can vote for that corporation? Is it the president, the vice president, the secretary, the treasurer, right? Who's entitled to cast a vote for that corporation? Well, we get to the election, and it just seems like every corporation in the building basically appointed the president of the board to be the person that has the right to vote for them.
Well, that's interesting.
So then I argued with the ombudsman's office that says, oh, no, that's ridiculous. You have to be, and I found a case that basically says you have to be an officer, an agent, etc. of that company. You can't just appoint the president of the board. And because I was able to show the ombudsman a case that actually said it, 85 votes were discounted, and the people that wanted to hire me won.
Oh, Oh,
Yeah.
good for
so
you.
What I will say about the ombudsman is, if you can the office, if you can show them case law, if you can show them make them a reasonable argument, they will be reasonable with you. But it's very hard for them to kick out any fraudulent activity that occurred before they got there. Okay, very, very difficult.
And you're not talking about a federal election. You're talking about a condo.
Look what goes into a condo election, a lot.
Yeah,
right?
it's amazing.
Less goes into a federal election.
Yeah, you're right.
Freaking amazing.
You're right.
I will tell you, I'm friends with somebody on Facebook that very liberal, beyond liberal, like to the left of left. And I remember in the last election, she came back and put on Facebook, I got to admit, I don't believe, she's in Pennsylvania, very, very, important state.
Sure.
And she just said, I can't believe that nobody just asked me for ID before I voted.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Even she was incredulous.
Even she was amazed that nobody asked her for ID. Anyway, on that note, let's take our first break of the hour. Taking your calls, 877-850-8585. Again, 877.
There are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies, and I think Affinity sits...
The future of fiber is here. QXC Communications is a fiber network engineering firm based in Boca Raton. We build fiber networks that deliver high-speed internet, Wi-Fi, HDTV, and voice services, primarily to Florida's condominium communities. QXC's AON architecture is the industry's best practice and a game changer for our customers. We run 2 dedicated fibers to each unit. No splitters, no cables. So, every resident gets uninterrupted blazing fast speed and military-grade data security. Our Wi-Fi 6 network deployment powers performance on multiple devices with no dead zones. And the QXC TV app makes everyday programming access a breeze with 3-day rewind and optional cloud DVR. QXC AON Fiber is where the industry is heading. Get connected today.
Is your condominium or HOA in need of accounting services? Look no further. Gerstel, Rosen & Goldenberg is one of South Florida's largest accounting and auditing firms, as recognized by the South Florida Business Journal, and is one of the few accounting firms uniquely specialized to provide accounting services to their growing condominium and homeowner association clientele throughout Florida. With primary offices in Aventura and Boca Raton, satellite offices in Naples and Orlando, and a professional staff of 65, Gerstel, Rosen & Goldenberg is prepared to meet the needs of any condominium or HOA in the state. The professionals at Gerstel, Rosen & Goldenberg also have experience working with timeshares, cooperatives, hotel condominiums, mixed-use buildings, and ancillary operations like restaurants, spas, and country clubs. Put their 25 years experience in your corner. Gerstel, Rosen & Goldenberg, 305-937-0116. That's 305-937-0116 or grgcpa.com.
Someday, you will need insurance. And for that day, you'll be glad you wrote down Insurco Insurance and Financial Services. Why? Because Insurco virtually insures everything. They're a full-line insurance agency that'll put together the best possible coverage and premium for almost anything. Need homeowners or condo insurance? Call Insurco. Need auto or motorcycle insurance? Call Insurco. How about golf cart insurance or trailer and RV insurance? Just call Insurco for a free quote. They're open every day. From renters insurance, officers and directors insurance, and personal liability umbrellas to all types of business insurance, boat insurance, cancer policies, life, health, and annuities. All you need is Insurco. Get a free quote. They service Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Speak English and Spanish. Insurco Insurance and Financial Services. It's the only name you need. Office at 14401 West Sunrise Boulevard in Sunrise, inside Edmore Chevrolet.
Call 954-846-1206. 954-846-1206. That's 954-846-1206.
All over the world, people have plumbing problems. These problems can be expensive and destructive to fix. Have you ever wondered if there was a way to take care of your plumbing problems without destruction and an outrageous price tag? Welcome to Pipelining Technologies, Inc., where we specialize in fixing your problems without demolition and minimum cutting by means of pipelining. Pipelining is the ability to take a pipe damaged by root intrusion or long-term deterioration and make it new. By means of inserting an epoxy-saturated liner into the pipe and allowing it to harden or cure, leaving behind a brand new pipe.
That sounds great. How can I get pipelining in my home, commercial building, or condominium?
Simply fill out our online contact form and a pipelining representative will get in touch with you in a timely fashion. Or call us directly at 561-853-5463.
Firm.
We have 4 now.
Good. There you go.
Quote. They service Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Speak
like, oh, that's
English
different.
and Spanish. Insureco Insurance.
And wish Eric a happy birthday. I won't even say how old you are. 877-850-8585. 877-850-8585.
45.
That's right. 40,
Uh-huh.
45.
45. I look good for 92, though, don't I?
You do.
I do. All right, who do we got, VJ?
Barry in Miami.
Barry, how are you?
Hi, Eric. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
What's going on?
Yeah, so...
Barry, you got to give me a softball on my birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, be nice.
Huh?
You got to give me a softball on my birthday.
So the question is, for the contractor who's paying the president, why doesn't he try and have the board recalled?
Absolutely. Sure, you can try to have the board recalled. No two ways about it. If the board is allowing a situation where the president is paying all the contractors in cash, and I don't know if the management company is going along with it and they're not telling the other board members, but if the other board members know and they're allowing it, I'm with you, Barry. Recall the whole damn board. I agree. The board should be recalled.
Great.
Yeah, and I think that's a wonderful.
Second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and second point is, what do you think of a method of getting board certification where you can now listen to a recorded webinar? You haven't attended the course. You listen to a recorded webinar, and in 2 minutes, you submit a certification. What you do is you scroll to the end of the webinar. They show up the password for about 7 seconds. You then send an email to the firm that's putting on the webinar, tell them what the password is, tell them you want the credit, and then you get a certification.
You don't allow that.
If you're telling me that you can immediately go to the end
You don't
and
allow
just get the password, how in the world can you give credit for watching that?
You don't do that.
The board certification? No, of course not. I do not think, absolutely do not think that the person should be allowed to. I mean, that system should be allowed, because it's a system where it's very possible that the person didn't even watch it for 30 seconds. They just went to the end, right, and got the password and sent it in, and that's it. I mean, no, that's ridiculous.
It only hurts that person who's
Yeah.
cheating. Well, it hurts everybody.
The truth, Barry, what I like the most, I like in-person classes. You know, and I got to tell you, not just for condo board certification. I think it should be for college.
Yes.
I mean, I'm hearing all these things since freaking COVID that all these college kids are taking their courses at home. They're studying from home. They're taking their tests from home. Are you kidding me? Really? That's a college education? So never mind, just board certification. But if a board certification class or a board certification certificate can be obtained by simply logging on, going to the end, getting the password, and sending it in, that is a flawed system. Is there even an argument about that?
Well, there is. It's being done. It started last week. I got an email on it, and it's out there.
Terrible. Terrible. Listen, there's a lot of things in this regard that I think are terrible, Barry. We have an opinion from the Florida Supreme Court a couple of years ago that basically says, if you're a community association manager, there's very few things that you can do. It's basically ministerial tasks that you can do as a CAM. And you certainly can't teach law. You certainly can't answer questions about the law. Yet, we have community association managers teaching the board certification class.
Oh!
I don't know how it's possible, but I got to tell you, I'm done with that. I'm going to be filing, a deck action or some sort of lawsuit against the DBPR to prevent all this. What is it? What declaratory statement? I want a declaratory statement saying that only attorneys should be able to teach this class.
Aren't they practicing law without a license?
I mean, that's how I see it under the Florida Supreme Court case. Certainly if you're answering questions.
Well, they can always go back and just sign the affidavit.
But Barry, it's right. But Barry's taking care of that next year. That affidavit is gone.
Whoa, you're kidding.
We're getting close. We're getting close. I do know we said it before. Barry, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you it's a done deal. Last time I did it, I got in trouble.
Right, but it looks good. Hey, Barry, don't mean to rush, but we are real late on our final break of the hour. Taking your calls. Thank you so much for calling in. 877-850-8585. Again, 877-850-8585.
Is your home or condo looking old, worn out, and in need of a fresh look? Then you need PD Painting to paint your property and make it look like new again. PD Painting will first properly prepare your home and condo and then use only the highest quality paint products. After many years in the painting industry, PD Painting has achieved a reputation for always delivering a reliable and professional finish. PD Painting is fully licensed and insured and offers a 7 to 10 year warranty. Their technicians are expert craftsmen. Let PD Painting handle all the details and then sit back and watch them restore your property and bring back that brand new look and feel. Need a service call? PD Painting will be there on the spot. Need financing? PD Painting can offer that too. Call PD Painting at 888-416-3204. Again, that's 888-416-3204. Go to the website pdpaintinginc.com. Need painting done in your home and community? Contact the experts at PD Painting.
This message is for anyone who has taken on the important responsibility of becoming an officer or director in a homeowner or condominium association. It is also for the management companies who work closely with these caring people to make sure things are done the right way. Hello, I'm Gil Pomar, South Florida Regional President for Center State Bank, now the second largest bank based in Florida. Our bank, Center State Bank, has an amazing team of professionals who are exclusively dedicated to the homeowner and condo association market. Your job is not easy. There are repairs and new projects that need financing. There are legal and social issues that need to be understood. There are also technology and servicing issues that your residents want to be improved. Why not choose a bank that knows this business backward and forward? Why not have a local banker who will meet with you face to face whenever it is convenient for you or your board? Center State Bank has over 2,000 associations as customers for a reason. Please give us a chance to earn your business. Call Terry Russo at 954-633-1666 to make it happen. Center State Bank is an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC.
Need an insurance evaluation, audit, or quotation for your condo association or homeowners association? If so, then you need to speak with our insurance experts at Mack Waltz. We insure over 800 associations, and we are the clear leader in this marketplace. Mack Waltz has been in business since 1989. We write insurance on billions of dollars of property values. We are an independent insurance agency representing insurance companies which specialize in condo and HOA insurance. The staff at Mack Waltz works closely with board members and property managers and regularly attends association meetings to help educate the association about their insurance policies. To learn more about how Mack Waltz can save you money and improve your insurance program, call now 954-640-6225 and ask for Greg Waltz. 954-640-6225. Mack Waltz Insurance Group. Let us protect your association.
Again, PD Painting will first properly
Wish him a happy birthday on the chat box on our Condo Craze and HOAs YouTube channel, where you can see us live, or you can call in 877-850-8585.
George writes in, he says, I did exactly what Barry said yesterday. Scrolled to the end, found the password, sent it in, bingo, you're certified. How do you think that makes me feel?
Yeah, but he's listening to the show, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah, but But he said he did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. But, I mean, how do you think I feel? I sit
Awful.
up there, I stand, teach for 3 hours, answer questions for 3 hours, and somebody gets certified by just clicking a button.
You're never going to get rid of the people that want to take the easy way out. You just have to.
I think it's disgraceful.
You just have to embrace the people that take the course and want to learn.
Yeah, right. That's
because there will always be people.
Right. But maybe it should be where you have to show up. That's the best way.
But don't they have to? You know when they're on your Zoom call whether
correct.
or not they've been there the whole time.
That's exactly right.
So you're doing it the right way.
Correct. And if I don't see that they were there, they're not.
You don't get it.
Right. You don't get it.
So there's no password at the end.
No password at the end.
There you go.
All right. How about we go back to the phones? Who do we got, VJ?
Donata in Miami.
Hey, Donata.
Hi, Eric.
How are you?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. What's going on?
Eric, I already know more or less that the board can conduct business by email, and they do not have to disclose the email that are done between themselves.
Nope, not true. Hold on. That's not true any longer.
Yeah.
The emails now are considered official records. So if you know that the board members, and I haven't seen a case about this
yet. But they can't vote by email.
They can't vote by email, Karen. Exactly right. But if board members are communicating by email about association business, yes, you have the right to go in and say, okay, I want copies of the emails. I have yet to see anybody do that. But it's going to be interesting when they ask for it and the condo says no, and you know that they're doing it. Can an arbitrator require a board member to turn over their phone and turn over the emails? I don't know. That's going to be pretty interesting. But just so you know, yes, those emails are now discoverable. They're official records.
Oh, any email change, especially in the board that only conducts business by email, doesn't have board meetings or anything like that.
Donata, I know you a long time. You're the perfect person to make that request, right? You're the perfect person to say, I want copies of any and all emails between board members for the last, 3 months regarding any association matters. And let me tell you, that's going to be interesting.
7 years.
Well, how about we start with 3 months? Let's see what they say, right?
And you know what? That may be a deterrent for them to do stuff by email.
And then the board would have to say, no, we never discuss association matters by email or text, And, if you know they do, if you've seen that they do, it's going to get pretty interesting.
Okay, Eric, thanks a lot.
You got it, Donata.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. Who do we got, VJ?
We have Tom in Boca Raton.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, happy birthday, Eric.
Thank you so much. What's going on?
Great. I live in just outside of Boca Raton city limits in Palm Beach County. We have a small group of 70 homes, HOA, no restrictions on boats. I have a boat that's been there for 22 years.
Right.
And we belong to a greater association of many communities, Boca del Mar, that put in a restriction 10 years ago. And so far, nobody's said a word to me about moving the boat. But now there's some sword rattling about it at this point. And I don't know whether my precedence of having it there for 22 years.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Sort of rule.
It certainly does. There's a statute of limitations on everything. Right? There's a statute of limitations on everything. If they say that you have been violating the governing documents, either of the sub-association or the master association, but your freaking boat is there 22 years, right? Like you say, they have no shot of winning that case. The statute of limitations expired long time ago. You're allowed to keep the boat there.
Yep.
Okay?
And then how would we battle that out? Does that get battled out in court? Can they find me?
It depends. It depends what they want to do. Are they going to start out with a fine? Are they going to go to a mediation process? And that would be your defense. Your defense is statute of limitations. Okay?
Perfect. Listen, have a great birthday.
You got it. Thank you so much. Let's go to the board for a second. Michael Allen writes in and says, when a board of directors takes legal action against the former property manager, what information can be given to the homeowners? How about this, Michael? If there's an actual lawsuit that's been filed, rather than fight with the board, right? you can go to the clerk's office, the website of the clerk's office, where your condominium is located, where the lawsuit has been filed, find the case, and every single document that's filed in the case, there it is for everybody to see. And I tell people that all the time. We want to know what's going on in the lawsuit. Go look. It's online. There's nothing that's hidden. Go. It's all for you to see. You want to see what the complaint says? You want to see what the defense is? You want to see if we have discovery that we sent out? You want to see if there's depositions planned? Go ahead. It's all there. Nothing secret. So, Michael, that's the best way so that you don't get into arguments with anybody. Go to the clerk's office where your condo or HOA is located. Find your case. Click on it. Everything is there for you to see. Okay? VJ, who else we got?
Joe in Pompano.
Hey, Joe.
Joe in Pompano.
Is he there?
Hello, Joe. Going once.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
Are you asking for Joe?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Good morning, Eric. This is Joe from Pompano.
How are you, Joe? What's going on?
My question today is, my bylaws have a provision for 2-year terms of office for directors.
Right.
And it says that the terms may be staggered.
Oh.
My question is there any provision in 718 that says that 2-year terms must be staggered?
No, it does not say that. Absolutely not. Nowhere in 718 does it says the 2-year terms must be staggered. For those of you who don't know what staggered terms are, let's say you have 5 members of the board, right? Every year, only 3 are getting elected, or 2 are getting elected, or 3 are getting elected, or 2 are getting elected, and it goes on like that forever. That's what staggered terms are, and it could be each of them for 2-year terms. Well, Joe is saying, does it have to be like that, or can it be that simply everybody runs for 2 years? So we elect 5, and then 2 years from now we elect another 5. 2 years from now we elect another 5. So there's absolutely nothing in the Florida statutes that talk about the fact that 2-year terms must be staggered.
But there are term limits.
2-year terms, right. You in a condo, you cannot serve for more than 2 years. That's it. Okay?
And you can't, not serve for 2 years and then come back and serve for 2 years?
You can. You can serve for 2 years, run again for 2 years, run again for 2 years, but the term is 2 years.
There you go.
But it does not have to be staggered with everybody else.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, and you can only run for up to 8 consecutive years. Is that correct?
That statute hasn't gone into effect yet. Why? Because the new law says that the first year that you're going to count in a condo is 2018.
Oh.
Okay, so 2018 is year 1. So we're not going to worry about that until we get to 2026.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, and I'd just like to tell everybody, I took your condo class, and it was terrific, and I would highly recommend it, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Joe. Really appreciate that call. That's a call. Appreciate
Now
it.
that's a call.
That's a call. Anybody else we got, VJ?
Yes, we have Isabel in Margate.
Hey, Isabel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say happy birthday.
Thank you, Isabel.
How sweet.
Yes. Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you so much in
very nice.
Spanish, no
Ah,
less.
Love it.
That is awesome.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. That's why she called, just to say Feliz
happy
cumpleaños.
birthday.
That is awesome.
Very
really
nice.
appreciate
You have the
that.
best audience ever.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, some people, we said we're doing this for 14 years. Some people are listening that long.
That's right. Well,
And,
your
yeah,
advertisers
yeah.
have been with you that long.
My advertisers have been that long. Think about that. Every one of the advertisers that we have right now, maybe except for 1 or 2, have been with us for the entire length of the show.
And who else
Think
has
about
been with
that.
you the entire length?
Karen on my left. Karen on my left. Absolutely. Great team.
Great team.
Great team. Anybody else, VJ?
No, we are out.
We are out of calls. Okay. Goldie says, is it required that all condo associations have a CPA? And the answer to that question is yes, because they're going to need to do their year-end financial report, right? Every single March, they have to hire a CPA to do their year-end financial report. The type of year-end financial report depends upon the amount of their budget, right? Is it just going to be a compilation? Is it going to be a review? Is it going to be an audit, right? The bigger the expense, the bigger the budget, the more complicated of a report they have to do. But for any of those 3 reports, they absolutely have to have a CPA. A CPA has to do the report. Okay, so the answer to that question is yes, absolutely yes. Okay, who else we got? Richard writes in, how about a live seminar on October 3rd at the Condo HOA show at Orange County Convention Center? We're going to be in Orange County. I think it might even be October 3rd. I don't have the dates in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, after we get through with my live seminar, which is August 17th, by the way. All right, we didn't even talk about it. So if you want to register for the August 17th seminar at home, the board certification class at home, again, August 17th, 6 o'clock p.m., you can take it from the privacy of your own home. If you want to register for it, just go to condocrazeandhoas.com, condocrazeandhoas.com, click on the seminars, click on the seminar for August 17th. It's a week from this Thursday.
Is it almost full?
6 o'clock p.m. Yes, and the problem with that is you can only have 150 people at once.
And no password.
Right, no password. Right, you got to actually be there.
Hello.
Right, but it's great because we teach the seminar, and at the end, it has the it has the thing where people could raise their hand and ask questions. So even after I taught for 3 hours,
you take their
I
questions.
take all their questions.
Because there's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions, right? Just because people attend doesn't mean that
they're getting
their questions are answered. Now, what bothers me is all those questions, every single one of those questions, can only be answered by an attorney.
Yes.
So if a manager's doing it, that's getting me mad.
Yeah.
That's it, and to me, that violates the Supreme Court decision. Hey, thank you so much for all the calls on my birthday. I so appreciate it. Karen, thank you for your gift.
You're welcome.
And it's been a great week. If you need legal help off the air, call Glazer and Sachs, 954-983-1112. Again, 954-983-1112. And we'll see and speak to you again next Sunday on Condo Craze and HOA's Sunday at 11. Have a great